What is up, everybody? Today, we are going to add a new little segment to the show. And today is the question of the day. And so today's question comes from Facebook. And those of you guys, so if you want to, you can jump over to optimalself.today, get registered. We'll get you into the private Facebook group. And then, you can ask questions. And of course, we'll chat in there. And then depending on the question and depending on the week, we will grab some of those questions and do them live right here on the show. So today's question comes from Facebook. And the question was, what's the one thing that has had the biggest impact on your growth? And man, I sit and I go through that, and there's so many different things that actually come to mind. You guys know how big I am. Principle number one of Optimal Self is hydration. And, your brain is, over 85% water. Your bones are 70% water. Your muscles are, another 85% water. So, waking up in the morning, the very first thing is hydrating, right? The hydration cocktail that we use at Optimal Self is 16 to 24 ounces of water, a pinch of Himalayan sea salt, and some lemons, and we go deep into that in our course principles. So if you're interested in that, you jump on over. That's the first thing that's one of the things that comes to mind, and I think it's something easy for everybody to do. But the thing that's had the biggest impact on my life is switching from having an entertainment-based lifestyle and changing it to an education-based lifestyle. And so what does that mean exactly? Well, listen, you guys know that I talk a lot about consumption, and we talk about consumption, and most people think is what you're consuming, right? What you eat every day. But what I'm talking about is what you hear, what you listen to, what you watch, the people around, the words that you use. And a lot of those words that we use come from different places. Sometimes it's from the TV show that you watch. Sometimes it's from maybe the news program that you watch. Sometimes it's from something that you got off of your Facebook feed or your Instagram feed. Sometimes it's from years and years and years ago that a coach, a teacher, or a parent or an aunt, uncle, cousin said to you. And we've now adopted those things, right? And the cool thing about that process is that I said it, right? You've adopted other people's words, ideals, visions, and now we've adopted them as our own. And the biggest impact on my growth is when I stopped all that. I stopped listening to what everybody else thought about whatever it was. And I started reading, and I started listening to books and thought leaders and people who were doing great things, as opposed to people who, it's very funny. I've been in real estate for a long time, and you'd have somebody in the midst of purchasing a home or doing something, and they would want to consult, with their cousin or their brother or their aunt. And I would always ask them, what does their real estate portfolio look like? And I remember this lady telling me one time, oh no, they don't own homes. I'm like, wait, so you're taking advice from somebody who has never actually built equity in a home before? Like, does that even make sense? Right. And when I say it that way, you're like, no, why would I take advice from somebody that has never done it? Well, we do that all the time. And so to go to the question says, what is the one thing that's had the biggest impact on my growth? It's when I changed and I stopped the entertainment-based lifestyle and I moved to an education-based lifestyle. So that meant when I used to have a long commute, and in the car, instead of listening to the radio or listening to even a CD or stream other music, I started listening to books. I started listening to podcasts. I started finding people who had the life and the things that I wanted. And I started listening to that. And I started to listen to how they did it. What do they say? What are the words that they're using? Every aspect. So again, reading became something. I wasn't a big fan of school, right? I did it because it allowed me the opportunities to go play baseball and to go to college and, do the things that I really wanted to do. But I wasn't a big reader per se. And as I get older, man, I can't wait. I mean, I like to read every single day. I like to read something every single day, something that's gonna go into my mind. And the real reason is because what we need to do is we need to shift to education so that we can, when we're education based, we can gain knowledge and we can have skill development that I can then use and apply so I can create the life that I want. Yeah. That I get to create the life that I want. I am in control of that. And the only way that happens is if I get better at the little things. I told you the number one thing, if I said, would be hydration. Get up every day and drink water before you have that coffee, right? Grab that water instead of grabbing a soda. Instead of drinking lemonade or whatever it is that you find yourself doing. Because when your body is hydrated, then that control panel gets to work at best. That's education based. If you don't believe me, look it up. Don't take my word for it. That's okay. I hope you do. Study it. See how much hydration affects everything that you do, how it affects your cognitive function. Check it out. Don't believe me? That's okay. I hope not, but I hope you'll look into it because it'll make a big difference in your life. So again, if you can move, instead of coming home and turning on the television, grabbing a book, listen to a podcast, find people, find things that are going to educate you, that are going to make you a better you. Doesn't mean you have to adopt them. Doesn't mean you have to do exactly what they do. But what you can look at is people who have the success that you want, right? A great man said one day, find people that remind you of your future, not of your past. We can't change that. We can't go back. And the best is not behind us. Those aren't our glory days. The best is yet to come. All right. So again, question of the day. What's the one thing that has had the biggest impact on your growth? It's very, very simple. It's changing from being entertainment-based to being education-based. Doesn't mean you don't watch a movie. Doesn't mean you don't sit down and have your favorite show with your wife and kids. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that shouldn't be the majority of what you consume. That should be the cherry on top. Everything else should be leading you to a better you. All right. If you want more of that, jump over to optimalself.today. We'd love to have you part of the community. Love to hear what your question is, and maybe it gets put on the show. All right. Till next time, get out there and be the best version of you.